The Sauda nerfs in BT6 are finally beginning as Ninja Kiwi is starting to crack down on one of the most fun and most beloved heroes in the game. Now these nerfs have not, well, exactly started in this specific update, but they've been going around for a while, as update 45 was the update in which they reduced the pierce of Sauda by a tiny bit, and now what they're doing in the latest update is they're taking away her attack speed on almost all levels. Guys, they're making her about 10-ish% weaker up to level 18. So level 18 is where she actually balances out and she becomes as strong as she used to be. Now this doesn't necessarily mean that Sauda is weak now, but she was probably a little bit overpowered and I think that now they're just kind of bringing her back in line. Now this is going to be a dual showcase video because I did want to try out the new Sauda, and then I was thinking of actually doing another video of the super glue. Now the super glue also did get changed, but I don't think that that's kind of a tower that deserves like a video of its own, just because I don't think anyone uses the super glue. So I was like, let's actually try and use the super glue in combination with Sauda, and we're gonna need to use the level 3 ability. By the way, it might have been a little bit late on that one because the super glue actually activates all of Sauda's attack bonuses. So if you guys don't know, on level 7 Sauda does extra damage if the Bloons are stunned, but on level 11 she does extra damage to all Bloons that are slowed, immobilized, or taking damage over time from other monkeys, and the super glue does all 3 of those things at once. The changes happening to the super glue are that the 205 doesn't improve the tick rate on the damage over time anymore, it's just like on the base tower, and now if you go for the 205 crossbat, this is an interesting one, it actually does damage when it explodes. The damage is only 1, which is absolutely not significant, and I feel like if you actually do notice a difference, it's probably going to be, you know, in like before free play, because the Bloons are kind of weak before free play. But going for the 205 crossbat on the super glue is a little bit of a stretch, because I still believe that the Miller crossbat is the better one. So for today, let's try and play off of Sauda. She's gonna be our main damage dealer. Maybe we're gonna get to notice the lack of attack speed, or maybe it's gonna be on a round like this one actually. Oh my god, don't tell me, look at this. I swear, if you had the extra 10% attack speed, we would have been able to defend this. I guarantee it. Alright, so as much as I want to go for the top crossbat on the glue, I feel like that's absolutely ridiculous. So we're just gonna go for the middle one. Let's go for something like a 0-2-2. Hopefully with the glue we are gonna be able to hold all of these guys. Let's have the glue on strong for a second. And actually, before we do something weird, we should probably do a discount village. I'm gonna leave this spot open, probably for an ice or something like that, so hopefully I don't mess up the placement in the village. Let's go like this, get the discounts going. We have both the towers in range, and we're gonna have to hold these guys on 27 because I do want to have the level 3 ability for the next one, for the lead. So hopefully she survives. We're gonna need the extra attack speed, guys. No way, we're leaking 1 blue balloon. I'm telling you, this extra attack speed would have saved that one for sure. Alright, so I'm gonna use the level 3 ability. I know that we're not gonna have it for the lead balloons, but we can just buy an alchemist, and I guess this is gonna be fine. I want to have the alchemist be able to buff the glue as well. Let's try and get the glue a little bit of attack speed, because why not? We're gonna be getting an overclock for Sauda as well, and I'm having some intrusive thoughts. What if we get an overclock for the super glue as well? And I don't know, guys, this super glue is such a weird tower to me that I actually never find myself buying, because what the super glue does, you have 2 other towers that do it better than it, and those 2 towers are the icicle impale if you want to have a little bit of damage, you just follow the balloons a little bit more reliably, or just the balloon crush, which is, yes, it doesn't exactly do a lot of damage, but it's gonna keep everyone in place forever. So I don't know, this super glue has always fallen in like this weird category for me where I don't exactly buy it, but keep in mind this is an S tier tower, but it's an S tier because of the Moab glue and the relentless glue, not because of the super glue. This is why Sauda is so good, right? Because once you get, you know, some basic stuff going, she just starts cooking, and it's not even close in the early game. Although I am playing on a map that's a little bit shorter for sure, and she's not getting exactly that much chances to attack on the balloons. This is by design, by the way. I wanted to play it like this. And again, we're leaking. Oh, we're actually leaking a little bit, it seems like, on 39. We could probably save this by buying the jungle drums village. Let's get the jungle drums, and maybe we're gonna need to get the mob glue for round 40. So let's chill for a second. Oh yeah, look at this thing, so much better now. Not even close on these rounds, right? Okay, so let's see how we do for round 40. So the idea with this one is that you want to pop the Moab layer just with the normal auto attacks, and then you want to use the level 3 ability for the ceramics. And the question is, do we pop it? And I don't think we do pop the Moab. Maybe the DPS from the alchemist, that's not gonna be enough, I don't think. Alright, so let's get the Moab glue, and let's give Sauda a little bit more chances to attack, and hopefully this thing works. We can also go for the stronger stim, but I don't feel like that's gonna be necessary, and I think the Moab glue is gonna do the thing. Yeah, there we go, that's great. But this is a little bit of a waste of the Moab glue, by the way, because this thing is not gonna do anything for the next 10 rounds, and Sauda is gonna carry these next 10 rounds like it's nothing. So maybe, you know what, maybe we should get the relentless glue, because now we can do extra damage to stun balloons. So let's actually skip the alchemist upgrade for now, get the relentless, and then go for the stronger stim. And I think these 40s are not even gonna be close, actually. I guess the next few rounds, especially the 50s, are gonna be crucial because we are going for the super glue next. We can buy some small towers if not. Oh, I think we need to use the level 3 actually. Let's use it versus these ceramics. And yeah, the next 2 rounds are going to be crucial because we are looking to get the super glue first, and then we're going to go into supporting towers for Sauda. I want to set Sauda up for success. I want to have an ice tower over here, and the slow from the ice and the glue is actually going to stack, and they actually did buff the absolute zero recently. I think I mentioned this in one of my previous videos, but the absolute zero now has this aura that slows mob class balloons by 30%. Oh, we're leaking actually. Let me use the level 3. Okay, so now we got level 9 on Sauda, and I think that this is going to make things a lot easier because on level 9 she does 3 damage and she does a DPS effect essentially onto these balloons. So now look at these mob class balloons. I don't think we're going to have any issues in dealing with at least the blue mobs for the next 3 rounds. Let's just watch this one, and then I want to watch 54. Now, so 54, a bunch of ceramics and mobs on this one, and hopefully if we survive this round, honestly, I don't think that we're losing any of the 50s at that point, so we're just going to be looking to buy the super glue as fast as possible. There we go. Yeah, look at this thing. It's not even close, guys. Yep, you can actually see why Sauda is such a beloved hero among the community. I mean, look at this thing. She doesn't even need any bugs, guys. Just an alchemist. A little bit of help from... I'm going to upgrade the super glue, actually. Let's buy the super glue. This thing, if you guys didn't know, does actually do damage on its own, even though you don't have the top crosspad, the damage one. And it's a DPS effect. It's a slow DPS effect. You cannot exactly rely on this thing to pop balloons for you, but it does immobilize balloons, and as long as it keeps attacking, whatever it's attacking is going to be kept in place, just like this. It's BFB right here. There we go. We're no longer worried about 45 mobs, by the way, because look at what's happening. These guys are just getting kept in place. So let's try and save up money for the overclock, but see how we do in 63 first. So actually, one of the cool things that you can do with Sauda in 63, you can use the level 3 ability for the first wave. You can wipe the second wave with the level 10 ability, and then I think the level 3 comes off cooldown again, but I'm going to set on strong, so the level 3 actually does target the ceramics. Yeah, there we go. Look at this thing. The level 3 is out, and we... that's it. That's pretty much it. That's round 63. What a hero she is. And we're going to have a couple of BFBs on this one. If we defeat both of these BFBs, then there's no way we'll lose up to round 75. So let's buy the overclock. I'm just going to let her attack, actually. Let's not do anything. Oh, with this super glue, everyone's kept in place. We are going to need a little bit of pierce in the super glue, though. See, we are getting a little bit overwhelmed. Are we going to leak, though? Nope. We take care of everything. Okay, so let me just buy the overclock. I'm going to see you guys in 10 rounds. Alright, so we're back at 75. This can get a little bit tricky. I want to save the level 10 ability for 76 because I just want to wipe that wave, and as long as we're keeping everyone in place, I mean, here's the problem. There are probably how many exactly? Like 9 BF? Nah, it's not 9, but it's like 7 BFBs or something like that on top of each other, and all of those small balloons are just gonna come in crashing down. So we want to pop them slow. I should probably... Do we overclock, or do we see if we can beat it like this? Let's use the level 3 actually. Let's see if we can actually beat it like this, and I feel, oh, with the super glue, this is not even close. What are we talking about? And let's see how we do on 79. This might get tricky because we don't have a grow blocker village, and I mean, there's just a lot of balloons, and I feel like Solid Spears, she needs like $200 for level 13. Do we actually buy this thing? We're gonna do a lot more damage. Hopefully she holds on. I don't want to be spending money on levels. I actually want to be spending money on something else, and that is, well, first off, an ice tower, and it seems like I did leave a good amount of space here for an ice, so let's go like this. Oh, we're leaking a little bit actually. Do we dump the level 10? Let's wait a second and see how many balloons we leak. Nah, we should probably use it. Let's use the level 10 now, wipe all these guys. Oh, that's a lot of mobs though. Let's use the level 3 as well. I'm gonna buy the snowstorm, and since we're running abilities, I don't think it's gonna be a bad idea to just get the primary mentoring, because this thing also got buffed in the latest update. Now gives a 15% cooldown reduction to all primary towers, and once we get the money for the absolute zero, that's gonna be as well one of the other towers that we buy. But we seem to be taking care of 79, so we didn't have to buy the level. And then look at this thing. Level 13 enchanted blades do more damage and lost solid to damage all balloons. This is really important. Alright, so 82, let's overclock and just take a look at the super glue range, just right here before the river starts, the absolute zero range at the same spot ending, and then just Sauda's range. So the entirety of this bottom portion of the map is getting covered, everyone is getting stunned, is getting slowed, and just hopefully Sauda's damage is enough, because she is our main DPS for the entirety of this game. All of these nerfs, by the way, happening to Sauda, I'm just gonna say it, they're absolutely zero, guys. I'm not sure if you remember, because this was a very long time ago, but Sauda was the first ever hero in BT6 to achieve a 1 tower chimps on Resort, I think the map was actually. And now that I think about this, she might have been a little bugged at that point or something like that, but nevertheless, I mean, come on, you just place her down and she wins. She beats Cheapsville by herself. That's ridiculous. No one should be able to do that. So as we're approaching these more difficult rounds, we have a choice to make, and the choice is between a final harmonic Mermonkey, which is gonna spin all the balloons around Sauda. That's gonna be cool. Or we go for a Millipede Village and we just give her an insane amount of attack speed and damage. So what do you guys think? I wish I could ask you guys at this point. So I don't know. Hopefully we get both of them, but they're kind of expensive, so I'm not exactly sure. Let's actually start with the Village first, and then we're gonna go for the Mermonkey. And if we don't make it to the final harmonic, at least we can buy, you know, the Symphonic Resonance, which also does well, it takes in some of the balloons, but it doesn't take in all of them. It just stops it at mobs and DDTs, right? So let's buy the Call to Arms over here on the side. Around 91, by the way. Let me check the level. We're level 15, so we're still at that point in Sauda's leveling where we're about 10-ish% weaker than we previously were. 93 more DDTs incoming. The Sword Charge ability actually did get a damage buff, and with some of the latest changes on on level 14, she actually does swipe the track twice now. This was reserved for the last. Let me actually show you guys. So she swipes once and then she goes at it another time, and that's one of the new changes as well. So that's kind of cool. But we're talking about around like 95 though. We need to be saving all these abilities. So we do have the money for the Symphonic Resonance Mermonkey, I'm pretty sure. So I'm gonna buy it like right here on the right side. Actually, it's around 94 in the background, and our Pierce is getting a little bit overloaded. Oh my god, wait a minute. Let's get this totem like this around Sauda. We need to start using some abilities. So let me overclock. Actually, let's use the level 10 first. So she's gonna do 2 swipes, which is gonna guarantee that all the small balloons are getting wiped essentially. Let me overclock her. All these EMGs are being kept in place, and I'm not exactly sure if it. Whoa, look at the Mermonkey. We bought this guy right on time, didn't we? Look at all these mobs just going in circles around Sauda. That's amazing. Let's use the level 3 though. Oh my god, we're still leaking. Okay, so what's the plan? The Absolute Zero by its, by just using the attacks is freezing all the balloons. So I'm gonna use the Absolute Zero freeze ability, and then maybe we're gonna get the level 10 back. That's gonna be the craziest thing ever, actually, if we can make it happen. Oh my god, it's so close. No, we're barely not gonna get it. Okay, so let's play the exact same round, but play it a little bit better. So let's use the overclock on Sauda, and let's what are we doing right now? Let's use the level 3 ability, get a little bit of damage going, and I think if we use the Call to Arms a little bit earlier on 94, we should get it back for 95. We need a lot of damage, by the way. So the main problem is the Sauda is, I think, as I mentioned, we're lacking Pierce, guys. We need Pierce, essentially. So she's just not going through all these balloons, so we can either make her stronger or we can just hold the balloons for a little bit longer, and I feel like this worked for 94. Yeah, oh, we're keeping all these balloons on the side, by the way, so we're just giving ourselves a little bit more time for the abilities to come off cooldown. That's amazing. Alright, so that was 94. Okay, so everything is off cooldown, and let's make sure we play 95 correctly. So we're gonna start things off, but I guess this Symphonic Resonance is starting to suck in some of these DDTs. I used the overclock armor, but so far I'm not seeing the need to use a single ability. Things might get a little bit dicey. So you know what? Let's actually use the Absolute Zero, because I feel comfortable using this cooldown. It's on a short cooldown, so it doesn't exactly matter as much. Now that this round is going so well, let's try and keep as many of the cooldowns as possible for 96. So there we go. That was 95. Alright, so I guess these balloons are a little bit weaker. Not too many balloons in general on 95, so the Pierce doesn't exactly suffer as much. We need those higher levels as soon as possible, guys. We are level 16 only, and we're around 96. We might want to buy some levels, so let's actually chill with the amount of money that we're spending, but we also need to think about around 100 and the bad balloon. Let's start this round off by using the Call to Arms. Let's do as much damage as possible to the 45 mobs and the BFBs, and then if we deal with these guys, I feel like, well, I'm not saying the ZMGs are going to be easy, because that's a different story, but let's just take it one step at a time. Yeah, so now our Call to Arms coming off cooldown. The ZMGs have all been popped, and I think I'm actually going to save the Call to Arms if possible. Let's use the Absolute Zero. I feel, again, more comfortable using the Absolute Zero, and I think, yes, with this Symphonic Resonance Mermonkey, it got nerfed, guys. It can no longer pull BFVs, but it is still an insanely good tower, it looks like. So let's start things off with the Absolute Zero ability in the level 3 one. Let's if you lay these swords on the ground, they do a lot of damage. So let's just make sure everything's off cooldown and just keeping the damage flowing. Super Glue is stunning everyone. The Absolute Zero is slowing everyone. Everyone is doing their job. It's just the question is if this is going to be enough. So I'm just going to keep using these abilities again off cooldown. We're probably going to need to use the Call to Arms. So I would rather use it sooner than later. So let's dump it now. The ZMGs are getting kind of close to Sauda as well. Let's use as soon as the Call to Arms ends, that is, I'm going to use the level 3 ability. The reason why I want to do it like that is because when she jumps, she's not actually attacking, so you're losing DPS. And as soon as this thing ends, yeah, let's use the level 3 now. And I think this is going well, actually. I want to keep the Absolute Zero now. I'm getting a little bit greedy with these abilities. I want to keep it because of the 45 DDTs on the next round. Oh, so how is everything looking? Let's actually take a breather. We have $32,000, so we're gonna need some extra damage for the bat. So do we buy Spike Storms? I think that's gonna be a correct choice, yeah, for sure. Then we buy 2 Spike Storms on the side. I see some Bloons trying to leak, though. Tell me we don't have to use in our ability. I think we're fine if the Bloons are just only small Bloons just stacked up like this. Oh, this is so cool actually, the absolute zero. All of our cooldowns are gonna come back, and we did actually get the spikes. So let me just check Sauda's level right now. So level 17, we are not getting max level, guys, but level 17, and she is, keep in mind, again, a little bit weaker than she was. So this means that we still haven't reached the break-even point, which is level 18. So even with the new Sauda, the reduced pierce and the reduced attack speed, well, I guess, you know, I don't want to say that nothing's changed because we are actually working to set Sauda up for success in this video, but she is doing amazing, guys. Alright, so let's go like this for the last round for the bat. I'm gonna buy a 420 ice. This is just to amplify the damage that everyone is gonna do. So let's go like this. Overclock Sauda. I'm gonna dump both of these Spike Storm abilities, and then once this guy pops, I should probably use the level 3 as well. Yeah, once this guy pops, we're not gonna have that many chances to pop everyone, so as soon as he pops, we need to be ready with the absolute zero. Oh, wait a minute, is the damage gonna be enough actually? Oh my god, this is super close. Oh, let's freeze everyone. Dude, these are getting sucked in, and let's just dump everything at this point. Hopefully it works, guys. We're gonna have another level 3 in a second. Let me use it. Overclock. I see the level 10 ability ready, and there we go. We get it done. There it is. Alright, so again, I don't want to say that she is exactly the same as it was, because we did try to set her up for success with all these support towers. It's just that playing Sauda feels as good as ever, even after these nerfs. So yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.